Thank you for coming by Tori Magoo 44. Today is the 29th of February, meaning it's leap year. And you can Google that. But it's one extra day in February. Alright, so anyway, today is a special day. I'm going to be talking to you about two things. One is, unfortunately, if you've been watching the news at all, in the Midwest and in the South, especially in Missouri, which is where I was born, they had some huge tornadoes, and my sympathies go out to the families and the towns. I mean, it really looks awful. Some of my relatives live in Missouri, hopefully not in that area, and hopefully they're okay. But I do send out my love to everybody, and I'm sorry for something like that happening. It's some of these natural disasters are, you know, they're amazing. They really are. So hopefully most of you are okay. I wanted to talk to you a little bit about the Scientology, basically BS Volunteer Ministers organization. I was a volunteer minister for some years, and it was kind of the beginning of my waking up, because I'll tell you why. When you're a volunteer minister, what happens is this. Something happens, like let's say these tornadoes, and they call you up and they go, can you go? We've got to get some people over to this emergency thing. Like for me, it was the earthquakes, right? And the earthquakes have happened and people are going to need clothes, so can you take these clothes over there? And they ask people to donate clothes, and they do, and I take the clothes out there and give them away, always with the Way to Happiness, which is one of their, basically it's a, you know, copy of the 10 Commandments. It's very similar to it, only it's the Way to Happiness, and it's got L. Ron Hubbard's name on it, right? Okay, so I'd give them out, and I'd come back, and every single time, the executives of the Church of Scientology, they only had one thing to ask me. Did we get press? Did they mention L. Ron Hubbard's name? That was it. They never, in the years of me helping, did they ever say, how are the people? Do they need more clothes? Do they need blankets? You know, they never had that side of them, that caring side of them. The people who are the volunteer ministers, very unfortunately, do care, just like I cared. Do you know what I mean? You don't realize that their program is to get media and press for the Church of Scientology. That's it. That's really what their goal is. The people that they send often do care about people, and they think the whole volunteer ministers program is to help other people. The sad truth of that, if you're watching this and you are a volunteer minister, is that it isn't really. Not really. Not with the executives. They could care less about what happens to these people. As long as L. Ron Hubbard gets some good press, they're happy. That's it. They can move on to their next statistic. And that's the sad truth of the thing. So there's that. The other thing that happened is Debbie Cook, who used to be the commanding officer when I was at Flag in Clearwater, Florida. She's a really nice person. Most of you know her story. For anybody new, she was a commanding officer for 17 years in the Sea Org for, I believe, 29 years. Woke up about 5 years ago, left the Sea Org. They paid her $50,000 and her husband $50,000 to help them. Basically saying, you're not going to say anything about Scientology, right? She signed everything kind of under duress. That's what some people do, just to get out of there, right? She left. And now it was this New Year's Eve, and she'd been looking at things and seeing how they're over-registered, you know, they're taking money from people in massive amounts so that they can buy these stupid buildings, and a few other things that she thought were not right. And she was still considered herself a church member, and sent out an email to her friends saying, hey, you know, these are things that we need to change. Which most of us who are out went through the same process one way or the other. You think, hey, it's my church. I see these things that are wrong. So do some of my friends. I'll say something. We'll fix it, right? I mean, because you've been kind of brought up in Scientology to be Theta the Solver, meaning someone who fixes things, not Theta the Problem. Someone just having a problem. So you think, okay, I'll bring it up to them. But you find out over and over that that's a dead-end road. They don't want to hear your solutions. They don't want to hear what you think should be changed. They are going down a path they're going down, driven by originally L. Ron Hubbard and now David Miscavige, and it's set. That's the way it is. That's it. There's no changing it. And Hubbard did have it written on both sides. So it's like, if you did this and somebody there didn't like it, they have this policy that backs it up, that they're right doing it this way, and vice versa. And that's true for a lot of it. I wrote a whole article on contradictions, and it is pretty amazing. They sell freedom, They enslave people. They sell communication. They stop communication all the time by declaring people suppressive, and thus no one can talk to them. Debbie, who was the commanding officer of the Flag land base, is now declared, and no one can talk to her. I mean, how crazy is that? All she did was try to talk to them. She's declared, can't talk to anybody. You know, that's just the way it is. And so quickly you start seeing, wow, this is what I thought. When I left, I said, I'm not going to say anything. I'm not going to make videos. I'm not going to pick it. I'm just leaving under the radar because I don't like David Miscavige. I see the things he's doing. He's not changing. So that's it. That's how I left. But what happened? They kept picking on me. And after a while, you go, you know what? I have a voice too. And I did. And I started speaking. And I've now made over 500 videos about the things that I've thought of that should be known to everybody else, that they may not know, or they may know, but they might be able to learn something else about it. So that's how it works. You know, now Debbie is getting sued by them. Now she's, I think, countersued. You know, it's just, I told them when I was in, you are creating your own enemies, David Miscavige, and executives of the Office of Special Affairs. And I said it the second week I was out. They made Magoo dancing in Boston, and I said, you're creating your own enemies, and they are. They still are every single day, and it's kind of great because they prove what we say every single day. They prove why most of us are out of the Church of Scientology. Actually, all of us are out of the Church of Scientology. And if you're in and you want to leave, come on out, because it's nothing more than walking across the street. You might feel like you have to leap off a cliff 1,000 feet high, but the truth is, it's nothing more than just walking out. Come on out, give me a call your friends, reconnect up, enjoy your life, okay? Don't give it away to them anymore. You don't have to. All right, that's it. I love you guys. Peace out.